Who is the immediate past vice chancellor for the University of?
Professor Ayunteyi.
Okay. And who is the current VC?
Professor Saidu Al-Hassan.
We've played our cards very well.
Right.
Okay.
And election is something that is predictive. Solid grounds. The grounds are fertile. And so far, so good. When we talk about humility and accessibility, it's among his gestures.
Most of the leaders are not accessible. They are only accessible when they are coming for the position.
When you pay your fees automatically, you've paid your SRC dues. So the SRC has never been insufficient of funds. And our plans is to develop hostels. And these hostels will be developed and funded by the state. People believe they can buy the students with money. And we are very far from that. We believe that the students are people who are intellectuals. We believe that the students have the vision. The students can see this is right and this is wrong.
Number one on the ballot.
Wherever any student will not accept, any graduate of any school will not accept posting to, when you go there, you will see University for Advanced Students there.
Okay, Maraba, welcome to another exciting episode of the North Podcast. My name is Prince Hamdan, and together with my usual suspects, Snapped in the building. And,
right here.
you know, we have very distinguished guest in the studio. You know, the UDS SRC Presidential Election is at the corner. And, you know, as usual, they are very well, you know, how should I put it? Very, you know, learned individuals who are, you know, out there to compete to become the SRC president of the University for Development Studies, that's UDS. And today we have one of the candidates who is vying to be the SRC president of the University for Development Studies in the building. And unfortunately, we invited all the candidates. He was the only one who was able to show up. We don't know why the others couldn't show up, but he was the only one who was able to make it here. And we are going to go ahead and have a conversation with him and see his why he wants to become the SRC president of UDS. He is in the person of Abdul-Hafiz Rufai, who is contesting for the position of SRC president of our very noble and distinguished University for Development Studies, UDS. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much.
Is that your campaign manager?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so can you introduce yourself? Because he's very well dressed as such. So
Sure.
it looks like an able campaign manager.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, for sure.
I'm Abdullahi Baba Muhammad,
Okay.
popularly known as Baba Biopolitical Thinker.
Wow.
And as you rightly said, I'm the campaign manager of the Team Hafiz campaign.
Wow.
Beautiful.
How has the campaign been so far? Let me come to you since you are the campaign manager. How are the grounds?
Solid grounds. The grounds are fertile, and so far, so good.
Okay. You believe that victory is going to be?
Yes. The belief is even more than
It
goes beyond the word victory.
What percentage do you think you are going to win?
We are estimating around 70%.
Oh, wow. You are very confident.
We've played our cards very well.
Right.
Okay.
And election is something that is predictive.
Yeah.
And going to the students, you can see the gestures and the response from them. And that really shows that UDS students are apt for change.
Yeah.
UDS students are apt for better life.
Yeah.
UDS students are apt to see that their dues are properly utilized.
Right.
And UDS students are intellectuals, as we all know.
Yeah.
They are developers. And they are this year, the students are apt to set records, a pace that will be enviable to coming generations.
Wow. So which campus is this?
That is Tamale campus, the Dungu.
Central campus, right?
Yes.
Please.
But what makes why do you think your candidate is the best choice for that change that you're talking about?
Well, to begin with, he's the most experienced among them. He's the only candidate among them who has served under the SRC. And
As what?
as accommodation chair, I mean, he was even deputy. But his records are there. Even most of his contestants, They came to school. He got them hostels, and it's on it's on record.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And when we talk about humility and accessibility, it's among his gestures. And you can all see when you invited them, though he had an exams. After the exams, I was the first person that he called that we must respond to the call. And for students, we need someone that we can access to in terms of need. And we're not just coming because we think we are the most accessible. But we are coming with policies.
We'll come to the policies.
Okay.
We'll come to the policies. Let me come to Abdul-Hafiz. I want to ask you, why do you want to be the SRC president for University for Development Studies?
Thank you so much for the question, and thank you so much for the opportunity given to us. We are most grateful for your work, and
Thank you.
we must say that this is a very good step you have taken to develop the North.
Thank you.
Yes, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am the person of Abdul-Hafiz Rufai, a native of Northern Region, Dagbang, and I'm from Sanargo District, Kunyavila.
Oh, okay.
I started my education at Kunyavila Primary School, and I proceed to Junior High School, Kunyavila, and I completed somewhere 2015. And I proceed to Tolan Senior High School, which I acquired my Senior High School secondary certificate there 2019. And I proceed to University for Development Studies to pursue my diploma in basic education. That was in the year 2020, and I completed 2022 rather, sorry. And after then, I applied my top up. So currently, I'm in degree in basic education, level 200.
Wow.
And I must say that I see to it that every society I found myself as an individual, I seek to impact positively to the environment to which I identify myself. So the reason to my contest is just I know that there is something I can impact positively to the environment I found myself. Since I've had a 3 years stay on campus, I see that there is a lot to which I need to contribute. And if I don't have the chance to be SRC president, there is nothing I can do. I will only listen to the students, but I can't have any go ahead to, because I will just approach maybe the current executives or the current president. He will also look at, I will do or I will not. So that is why I said no. If this is the case, I have to come myself and represent the student to channel their grievances to management so that they can be able to see to it that everything is on point. Thank you so much once again.
Before I come to some of your policies, what are some of the challenges you think the student body of UDS faces?
Yes, as my campaign manager rightly said, they have challenges to which they want to assess the candidate or maybe get in touch with the leaders, the student leaders. Yes, accessibility. Leaders. So most of the leaders are not accessible. They are only accessible when they are coming for the positions. After then, even students, when they call them, they don't get in touch with them. And there's a lot of basic needs to which maybe hostel prices, security issues on campus, academic issues on campus, to which they have a lot of challenges on it. And I think I have the capabilities to represent them and listen to it, and then we'll put it on board to know how we can tackle it. Thank you.
What is that one feature? What is that one thing about you that makes you stand tall among your other? I think he has made mention of some.
Yes.
What is it? What is that one thing that you feel that the students should, see to or are seeing and would want to make you the SRC president?
Yes, one thing I can say is, I think before you become a leader, you have to be humble, respectful, accessible. In fact, all the values in, let's say, life, you need to have it as a leader.
Yeah.
So I'm someone who is humble and able to listen to people and take their grievances and also know how I will tackle it with them. So that is just what I can say about it.
So I just want to ask, do you think in your knowledge with in your time with the SRC executives, like your campaign manager said,
Yes.
do you think the students mostly are a problem that might give you a tough time? That's how come other people are not accessible. Let's say they are always on your phone calling you, I need this, I need that, and sometimes some of those things you don't think they are things that should be.
Yes, I think at my time, when I was appointed as one of the deputies for accommodation, fresh students used to come to campus, and to which most of them, they don't know whom to contact and get hostel for themselves, and also how to register their courses, and in the application process, how they should go about the process. And I think from there, I quickly created a platform, a WhatsApp platform, and shared it to our social media handle, UDS Vibe and University for Development Studies Facebook platform and Twitter platform, to which the most people join. Even those, most of them were not even students. So they joined it, and since I was the admin to the platform, even though I consulted my boss, that was the then accommodation chair, and he gave me the go ahead to proceed on it. So then I was even sent to my TTIP program. So I was at Bono region. So when I was there, the community I wasn't having network. So because of this, I used to go travel from one almost 2 hours to access network in order to listen to the grievances students are having. So as at then, they used to call me and ask me, oh, I want to apply for UDS. So what procedure should I take? Then first of all, I would ask of the results to know how the results is, and I will be able to list programs to which I think they can be able to offer in the university. If they are okay with it, they will proceed with the application by directing them to the banks they have to link up, and then after then, most of them will even send it to me. Oh, please, they said UDS, there is competition in the programs. How do I get the admission? So most of them will give it to me, and I will also proceed by taking it to management. Because of my respect for them, they think, oh, this person there, we have to help him. And to my knowledge, there is no student in the university who has get admission through me and would say that Hafiz has ever taken me even 10 pesos before giving me admission. Wow. And I think most agents are on campus, and they do that. When you approach them that, oh, you want to come to you, even they will even scam you. They will not give you. You will not get the admission in addition, but they will take your money. To which most of them do approach. Oh, someone has taken my money, and this is what is happening. And after then, I will just help him and then make sure that he get the admission.
In your turn as just a minute. In your turn as SRC president. Accommodation is usually a big issue for students, especially those who don't come from the north.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to make like first-time students who come to UDS not have accommodation challenges? Is it within your power? And also, you spoke about the issue of people taking advantage of some students. That actually gives a bad name to the school.
Yes.
What are you going to do in your tenure to stop all those issues?
Yes. First of all, what I will do is, as at the time I was the then accommodation deputy, we started a process to register all the private hostels so that the school will have information of them, to which currently is ongoing. So for now, I last approached, before I came into to contest for the position, I approached the vice dean of students. Under his office, there is a private hostel, senior house tutor for private hostel. So I approached him and said, since I was part of the accommodation, I've seen the challenges students face on it. So this exercise, I want the time I will be as president, I want us to quickly run this exercise so that we'll get all the hostels registered. So we'll then be posting it on the UDS website. So if a student just wants to just go to the website, select the hostel, the price he can afford. So through this, we'll categorize the hostels according to the facilities available in that hostels. So if hostel A, it has toilet, bath, kitchen, wardrobe, and then bed on it, the price should range from this amount to this amount. Yep. And if your hostel, you don't have bed on it, you don't have wardrobe on it, this is the amount you are supposed to. So that is what we are going to do in order to make sure that the hostel landlords don't increase their prices to which students cannot afford. And I think that's just what I have to say for now.
How about the people who take advantage of students as agents to
Yes.
dupe some of these
With
students?
that issue, I would make sure the accommodation committee would not allow anybody who is not, because that one, I can't say they can be able to serve all the students. But if you are an agent, you should register with accommodation committee. They will be aware of you. Whatever you are doing, they would have a say on it, whether you are doing the right thing or not. You should, if you found out that you embezzle student fund without giving them accommodation, then they will hold you responsible because you are registered with them. Thank you.
Okay, but sorry, generally, these agents, are they known? Are they accredited to be able to get admission? Because I thought that academically you should be able to get yourself admission into the
at
school.
our time, there was some most of them are just students from the school, and they registered their, even they have flyers to which, and they have business certificates to which I know some of them. So if given the not, even I would even approach, if most of them are still around, and maybe I'll approach them to be part of the accommodation committee. So in order to maybe just clear the doubt that we are agents and this is what we want to do. Thank you.
You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to add to what Mr. Hafiz said about being able to attend to the needs of students. The problem of the SRC president not being accessible is that structures are not working properly. If structures are working properly, all the structures of the SRC, if it is working properly, I don't think the SRC president will be running and hiding, because I don't think not all problems will be channeled to him. That's why we have committees and we have other elected executives. So, and all of them are manning offices. So it is when you are negligent and you allow them to leave everything on you, that will make your work very difficult for you. The SRC Constitution was written by intellectuals, and that was why they considered division of labor. So I think our SRC Constitution has been fair, and it hasn't loaded a work on the SRC president that he cannot bear. So I think the problem here is that the structures are not working, and that is the reason why people are running away from their responsibilities. So one thing we will ensure is we'll make sure that before you are sworn into an office, we'll serve as a watchdog to ensure that you deliver on your responsibilities. And this will ensure that the workload is equally divided and wouldn't be a hectic thing on the president.
Before I come to you for the policies of your team, let me come to Abdul-Hafiz to tell us a bit about UDS. For a school that you want to be the SRC president, somebody might be watching you who doesn't know anything about UDS. What would you say UDS? How would you describe UDS?
Thank you for the question. UDS was established in the year 1992 by the late President Jerry John Rawlings. He established the school through the award he acquired as food. It was an food award. Sorry, I can't quite remember and he used it to come and establish a university here to make sure that Northern or the North have access to tertiary education. And the first campus was in Nyankpala campus, and they were running a Greek program, and it proceeded to NTC, and from then to Tamale campus. So that is just what I can say about UDS.
UDS, okay.
Yes.
So let's come back to the policies. What are some of the policies that, as somebody who wants to be the SRC president, what are some of the policies that you've put in place to ensure that you succeed when you are given the mandate by the students?
Thank you very much. Before I come to the policies, UDS, we as developers, most of the times we are fed up with promises. So we are not promising that much. all the policies that were kept in place are smart. That is, they are specific, measurable, and achievable. And they are also realistic and time-bound. And come to look at this, most of the times, people do come with us, give us policies like which will turn UDS into heaven. And knowing that as SRC president, you are coming to serve for only 1 year. So we've taken all this into consideration before coming out with our policies. And as you rightly mentioned, one of the challenges that we will tackle, if given the nod, is most of the challenges that students face on campus with regards to accommodation, with regards to their academic issues. That's mostly students suffers for problem that is not caused by them. Students are not allowed to write exams because they are not able to register their courses. And registration, most of the time, it is caused by the portal. You are ready to register, but then the portal is having issues. So that problem is not caused by you. But at the end of the day, you will not be allowed to write an exam because you are not able to register. So these are the kind of issues that we're coming to solve. We are also tackling the issues of sanitation. So we are bringing up Operation Clean UDS. And this is going to be championed by the...
Vice President.
Your microphone, good.
Okay. This is going to be championed by all the students.
Yeah.
Everybody is going to be involved for us to ensure that UDS is very what? Clean, and it meets up the standard of intellectuals that we are. Yeah. And at this point, I think my boss also want to add something.
Okay.
Yes. When we come to the policies, we have a policy which says construction of summer huts for the students. The rationale behind this policy is we see to it that most students come to campus maybe early in the morning, they have lectures, and after the lecture they will have another lecture maybe around 2 o'clock. So after the lecture they don't know where to lodge and where to sit and wait for the next lecture. So we see to it that we would bring on the summer hut so that we'll construct more. For now there's only one summer hut on campus. So if we construct more to the various schools on campus, when students come for lecture or they are just in the hostels and they feel like, oh, let me go and relax more, they can just come and sit on it, relax, and then wait and for the next lecture before they will be able to go. And we also seek to improve the condition of our lecture halls. Most of our lecture halls the fans have spoiled, ACs are not working, the bulbs are not working, and all those kind of things. So we just want a person who would come and then channel those information to the right people, management, and so that they will work on them and then they will treat it. And the next thing I will talk is procurement of canopies and chairs for our activities. We see to it that most of our departmental week celebrations, we use to go outside campus to rent those items at high cost. So if SRC has those items at their possession, the various departmental executives, when they have week celebration, they will come and rent it at low cost, to which it will also generate revenue for SRC so that we can use it to run our activities. Thank you.
And in addition to that, we going for campaign as a campaign manager, we always meet with the students and we've told them that next SRC administration, which shall be led by Abdul-Hafiz Rufai, inshallah, we shall ensure a transparent use of their dues. And most importantly, we will ensure that students are aware of wherever their dues are channeled to. And this is transparency. We all know that opacity breeds corruption. Yeah. And that is the fierce sin animal that we face in UDS as a society or community. And we are going to ensure that all students, regardless of the faculty you are coming from, regardless of the course you are offering. You are part of the SRC, and we shall ensure that you have a voice about where your dues are channeled to. And this shall be done by constantly ensuring that there are open forums. And the open forums for us to hear from the students themselves. And you cannot be leading people without hearing from them.
Yeah.
When we hear from them, where their dues are being channeled to, are they satisfied? What do they think should be done? And this shall ensure inclusivity, that everybody is included in the administration. And we are not just coming to be commanders. We are going to lead.
Okay.
And in leadership, we are going together. We will ensure that SRC is made admirable and SRC gains back its fees. And this shall be done by most of the policies that he is talking about. And we cannot come here to promise what we cannot do.
Yeah.
But we are assuring all our listeners, most especially our students, that the next administration of Abdul-Hafiz Rufai shall ensure that their dues are channeled to where it is expected to.
I haven't seen anything like, for example, what's the name? One teacher, one V8 in your policies. That's just by the way.
Thank you.
There seem to be a lot of things you are mentioning. How are you going to get funds to be able to execute some of these policies? Or you think the SRC dues is enough for that?
I am someone who has, I said, I have positive impact in every environment I found myself. So I got encounter with some of the NGOs in the north here, to which I talked to them about a policy of construction of summer huts. Yeah. To which they say, as at now, since I'm aspirant or a candidate, I approached them when I declared my intention. So they said they have some ways to which they can use to help us. So if we have the chance, we can approach them to see how, if they cannot fully fund those projects, then maybe they can be able to get some expertise. They will give us some people, and then we can also get it through scholarship, or we can get it through levies and the student fund as well. So, and most of those things, the executive themselves don't approach management. Maybe when you approach VC to explain to him, oh, this is the policy we are bringing, or they have a staff that have to work, or offices that have to work on developmental issues on campus. So when we approach them on such matters, they will be able to help, and then the NGOs as well.
You talk about levying students. Students are already complaining of so much burden on them. Don't you think levying them again will be,
Yes, it's just
too much on students?
Yes, I know students. Since they are leaving them, they don't know what they are using this for. So that is why they have problems with the administrations or the student leaders.
Because they don't know what
actually is going to be used for. So with this thing, most of them even mention that, we want this, we want that, we want. Because when you look at Legon, for instance, when you go there are a lot of summer huts to which students are using it.
So and you think the students will be okay to pay to have those summer huts if really they are going to have them?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and UDS SRC, I must say, is not insufficient of funds. And the students, the SRC dues has been joined to the school fees. So we all pay it inadvertently. When you pay your fees, automatically you pay your SRC dues. So the SRC has never been insufficient of funds. Yeah. So, and what we only need is the expertise to utilize those funds to mitigate the needs of students. And coming to one of your questions about how are we going to handle our policies. the issue of accommodation, I last had a discussion with the state housing. You know, we have a state housing that attends to accommodation issues. So I last had a discussion with them, and it was fruitful. They said if we are given the nod, we can go ahead with our plans. And our plans is to develop hostels. And these hostels will be developed and funded by the state. Understand? So though it cannot be like freely given to students, but it will be lower than a private man coming to what? Develop a hostel to rent for students. So these are the kind of visions that we have for our students, and this is what we are coming on board to do.
And you believe that this particular policy, if you get the opportunity, is possible to have it done?
Yes. Even, construction takes...
Because we all know the government already has so much burden on its head, and.
What's the difference here is that we have expenditure and something that is going to bring an income to the government. If the government spends, let's say, 100 cedis on it, in the next couple of years, the government is going to be getting about not less than 1 billion out of it. So this is not an expenditure per se to any intellectual. Understand? So this is
an asset. Right?
Yes. So it's an investment, a greater investment. So it's kind of business for the government.
Elections usually are not, cheap.
Yeah.
When we talk about, national elections, we've seen how, parties have to spend a lot of money. Yeah. Is it the same with SRC presidency?
Sure.
You have to spend. So my next question then would be, how are you getting the funds to run your campaign?
As a campaign manager, I would like to attend to the question.
Attend to the question.
We have different teams. Many people have their visions and their beliefs. Yeah. People believe they can buy the students with money. And we are very far from that. We believe that the students are people who are intellectuals. We believe that the students have a vision. The students can see this is right and this is wrong. And you don't have to influence them with money. And the SRC Constitution is very clear on that. The SRC Constitution has put a ban, has frowned its face against spending money on SRC elections.
Influencing people.
To influence students to come and vote for you. SRC students has frowned its face against it. So we are against it, though it is happening now, and people believe they can buy the students with money. But by our previous experience of what we have seen on campus, we are very confident that on the 18th of this month, the students are going to come out with one vice, a vice that is going to serve as a deterrent to those who believe that they can influence intellectuals with money. And I always say that if someone buys your vote, know that when he comes, you have no vice.
Yeah, a typical politician. You've dodged my question. My question is that, how are you funding your campaign?
Yeah, so maybe you didn't understand his question very well.
Yes,
it's not just about buying the students' vote, but at least you have flyers. You have flyers. You have
and you alluded to the fact that it's expensive.
Yes.
How are you funding your?
As you rightly mentioned, we are from various backgrounds. We have our godfathers, and we have families who support us, and we as team, we also brings up some funds. And it isn't that much that we cannot, from the support that comes from externally and what we generate among the team. That is what we use to run.
So the support that comes from external, what is the catch? Are you supposed to pay back in a certain form?
Yeah,
or is just,
as I said,
because I'm very particular about corruption,
yes,
especially when it comes to us young people.
Sure.
Because in the next few years, we are the same people who are going to be the political leaders, the MPs and all of that.
It's true.
So I want to understand.
Yes, Prince, maybe you've been my boss and I've been serving you. Definitely, when I pick up something that is good, you will support me. And in that support, it entails funds. I'll be spending, and definitely you will support me. And you've been my boss or a brother or a family member to me. you don't expect that maybe as you have supported me, maybe when I win, a job that is not going to be paid. It's just a voluntary one. So you don't expect me that after I've been granted victory, I should come and pay you back. That's not it. It is just a help that we are accumulating from our years of service, our years of humbleness to humanity. And
Okay.
definitely humanity pays back.
Abdul-Hafiz, what do you want to gain by being elected as SRC president? What do you want to gain? Because I would rather see it as more of a how do you call it, a struggle, or
There's a lot
a
involved.
lot involved.
Yes.
What
And
do you
mixing that with lectures and all of that.
and you still want to be SRC president?
Yes.
What do you
Is
think? Is
will
there
do?
something
Yeah.
you stand to gain?
Nothing at all, but to get exposure.
Okay.
In a sense that if I've been elected, I'll be able to maybe meeting a lot of people to which it will impact possible to my life and impact possible to those who are looking up to me. Like when I'm elected, or as at now, students approach me, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And sometimes it needs someone who can maybe approach someone on his behalf or her behalf to help. So through this, I think I would be able to meet a lot of big men on, and then if students I need of help or after my tenure of office, I can easily approach them as SRC president on behalf of those in need.
So you see the SRC candidature as a ladder to build your political future.
Yes, please.
What, and then it's not more about the students, is it?
It is because I'll serve the students. I'll serve their needs, and they will be able to see that, oh, when we elected Hafiz, he has been able to do this, he has been able to do that. So in future, like the summer hat, for instance, our future generation will also come and benefit from it because it's a long-term project. It will be there.
I'm asking this because we see a lot of young people now who hitherto sees politics as a way to enrich themselves, not necessarily serving, and also as a way to build themselves to a particular position where they can, enrich themselves properly, rather than serving or dedicating yourself to the service of the people who need you.
Yeah.
And which, I mean, in all, I would say it boils down to what causes corruption in a lot of institutions and all of that.
Sure.
Let me ask you, as a person, what is your view about institutional corruption? And how do we take it out of our everyday life and even our general politics?
Yeah.
Because as I said, we are all aspiring to be future leaders.
Sure.
And I think it's better we get to know that now.
Yeah.
And we know what you have in store. I mean, when you get to a bigger position or a bigger office.
So I would say that when maybe the process of you becoming the leader, when you approach people to promise them that, oh, after I'm elected, I will let you come and do this, or I would channel this amount of money to you. And this is something myself, I just took it to myself that, oh, I'm coming to serve the students. So whatever I'm having to fund myself to this position, this is what I'm going to do. And the funds has been coming from my friends, and those friends are just doing it because of my personal relationship with them. So they don't expect something to gain from me after being elected. They just want to see me, oh, this is our friend and he's the president to this university or the students. So I will say if maybe I'm giving the nod and I'm going to serve them and I approach management, or they are imposing something on the students and the students see to it that it will benefit them, and maybe they said, oh, Hafiz, you are their leader, just accept it. That is the reason why we are going to be having an open forum to which the students will contribute before we would channel it out.
But many people say that you come, when you're looking for the position, you say all these things, but when you get the position, it becomes a different.
But for me, I am. That is why I said I'm the only candidate who has the experience, and most of the students can testify it. As at my time of being deputy accommodation, a lot of students approached me with their problems, and when they appointed me, I was even deputy. And what I have done for that then president during his campaign, it is not something he cannot pay me back. So when he even gave me that appointment, he advised me that, oh, Hafiz, this, just take this school, and I made impact on it. And as last year, I believe that a lot of students wanted to be accommodation committee members or accommodation committee chair because they have seen what I've contributed to it. Okay. And it's something I didn't just pick as a leadership and just sit behind. I served diligently to the expectation of the students.
Manager, let me come to you.
Okay.
On this issue of corruption. Right?
Yeah.
How, I mean, not pertaining to just his campaign, generally, as a young person or as a young politician, how do we eradicate corruption in our society in general, in our politics? Because if you look at it, even the young people who are coming or who will be taking over from our politicians we think are corrupt, some of them are even worse off.
It's true.
So it means that like there is danger looming. How do we work around it?
Prince, frankly, this is a question that most politicians
run away from.
Don't feel comfortable discussing. But I'll have a bite.
Okay.
Sure.
I think corruption, the first step to take away from corruption is changing our mindset. Generally, we think politicians are corrupt. And we make this so. You have someone come on to MP that he has a naming ceremony, he has a funeral, he has a this. You don't expect the MP that he should be using his own salary to fund those things when he has a family to cater for. And you and I knows that those monies that we goes to them for, they don't have an account or a fund for those things. So where do you expect them to get those monies from? And again, we live in a society that maybe we are all queuing here to do something. Someone will come and see himself as very special to join the queue. So these are the mindset. And this boils down to many issues, even like in sanitation. Someone will drink pure water. He has drunk from the rubber and he sees that he's very special to hold that rubber to put into a dustbin. He throws it away. So the first step we have to take away from corruption is changing our mindset. And changing our mindset in a sense that, and I've always said this on many platforms, that the time is coming that our parliament will be full of rich people. Today, let's look at the kind of amounts, distribution of motorbikes and other things. And this is corruption. It is the birthday of corruption, the very day corruption is born. Because when he comes to give you motorbikes and other things, it's an investment.
Yeah.
And no one goes into business to make loss. So definitely, when he goes in to serve you as as your MP, just know that your common funds are not safe. So the first step we have to take walking away from corruption is changing our mindset and allowing structures to work. When structures are working properly, and you go to when you really travel outside, you see how systems work.
Yeah.
You see how systems work. So when systems work, there would be no room for corruption. And I pray to our leaders that they should leave a mark of decency, a mark that is worth emulating for we, the upcoming ones, to emulate. Because it's not about the number of cars, it's not about the number of houses. Any of this doesn't follow us to our graves, but about the goodwill and good name. So we leaders should know that today we being leaders, tomorrow it will be some people else. And we will not be remembered about the number of cars, the number of naming ceremonies and other things that we have done, but the goodwill and impact that we've made in the society.
Okay. You are a basic education student.
Yeah.
From your diploma to degree is basic education.
Yes, please.
Do you think that this issue of corruption, we have to tackle it from that age of our children, instilling those values in them as children?
Yes. In a sense that we as teachers, you teach the students and let them know that this is what yourself you have to work on. For example, you give them the test to write exams. After the exam, the student will not perform and expect you to give him a pass mark. So you make sure that students learn and then come and write what they know. After then, you'll be able to know that this is their problems, and then you'll go back and then teach them on such issues to make sure that they get everything clear. So I think corruption, I can say from teaching, that is where corruption starts. You not give deserving marks to students, and which will have negative impact on their life. When they grow up, they will just expect, oh, let me go to this person and I will give him so amount, he will also give me this. That is where corruption starts. So if we clear our mindset on it and make sure that everything works.
And even some, quite recently we heard about the sex for grades issue, where, students in tertiary offer sex to have good grades and all of that.
Yes.
And, it's not a good practice.
It's really appalling. Appalling, serious.
Okay, I think we are almost done with our conversation.
Yeah.
And I would like to test your knowledge of your institution a little bit. I hope we can go.
Yes.
Okay.
He says so.
All right. How many faculties has UDS?
8.
8 faculties. Can you name them?
We have Faculty of Education, Faculty of Sustainable Development, School of Medicine, School of Nursing and Midwifery, Faculty of Allied Health Sciences, SARS block, that is a School of Allied Health
Assistance.
Health Assistance.
Okay.
And then
Communication.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's okay.
The
Yeah,
other-
since you've
the
been
other
able to
thing
mention the number.
is at this in Nyankpala campus, so I find it difficult.
So which faculty are you?
I'm in Faculty of Education.
What's the name of your dean?
Dr. Mohammed Gunu.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right.
But were all these faculties brought in at the same time?
No.
Did they just start when the school started, or they were introduced?
No, they were introduced.
Okay.
Who?
So which is the sorry?
Okay.
You can ask.
No, go.
Which
go
is
ahead.
the oldest?
Faculty of Agriculture.
All right.
But you didn't even mention it.
Oh, that's why I said.
No, but you see, earlier
most of
he
the-
said that was what.
most of
Yeah,
most
yeah,
of
yeah,
those
that's what
faculties
I
are at Nyankpala campus.
But you see, sometimes when questions comes in like this, so I know that especially with your able campaign manager, you are able to face these questions and answer them well.
Sure.
Right.
Who is the immediate past vice chancellor for the University of?
Professor Ayun Teyi.
Okay. And who is the current VC?
Professor Seidu Al Hassan.
Okay. All right. Nice one. Great. So it means you're up to speed with your knowledge about your school.
Sure.
One more question, right? There are a lot of students who come to UDS from other parts of the country. Let's say from the south, who hitherto had a bad perception about the north, right? And I've interviewed some of them personally, and some of them gets when they come and then they see the school, it doesn't go with what they've heard about the school and even the north, right? What are you going to do in your turn as the president to help your school to change that narrative of people seeing the north in general, or let's say UDS as
Low standard.
a school that is or just to make it among the best universities in Africa, or if not the world?
Yeah. This issue, I think, as my term there's this in the accommodation issue, I do reference to it because I think that was where I self-world, and a lot of modest parents, they bring their students to the university.
Very worried.
Yes.
Thinking that
and
the school,
thinking
the,
that,
you know,
this is
yeah.
something.
And some even went to the extent of thinking that we like there are no houses, we live
Yes.
in mad houses. And
Yes,
so what kind of university are there? Children coming and all of that.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
And
easy.
those perceptions actually affect the school.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to know what you would do
Yes.
to change that narrative.
Yeah. Last year there's a student, public physician assistant. He came with the mother because he approached me online. That was WhatsApp. He took my number, or he asked someone to help him and in accommodation. They gave my number out to him. So when he contacted me and asked me of the hostel he wants, and I showed him the number of hostels available. So he picked, and then I said, for the hostels there, because we don't have our own hostel at the school, the private hostels are competitive. So if you don't make your payments on time and they took
might
it
not
away,
get it
you have
again.
to also check for different one. So he consulted his mother, and the mother said, where is the person from? And they said, I'm from North. I told the guy that I'm from North, I'm just a native of northern region. So the mother said, no, I have to bring you to the school and then confirm the venue before I make the payments.
Oh, wow.
So when the mother came, I think they arrived on campus around 2 o'clock in AM.
In the morning.
In the morning,
Dawn.
AM. So I was in the house and the call came, and I wake up and I picked the call. They said, Hafiz, please, we just arrived. We are at your entrance. And I'm not staying on campus. So I have to rush from house. And so I just came out and picked my motorbike. And I called one of my brother to come in, because in a night like that, you can't be moving alone. Something can just happen. So when I picked my brother and we get to the campus and I met them, the woman just said that, sorry, Abdul-Hafiz, the kind of perception I was having about you have erased it because of what you have done. Just coming at this time. I guess you might be sleeping. So I'm just sorry that I didn't trust you from the beginning. And I said, this is nothing. I think I'm just taking the position to serve the students. So this is my responsibility. So thanking me wouldn't be the, let's say, the right option. Just know that, let's proceed with what you are expecting to get. So I told him that, for now, I don't think we can be able to get access to the hostel landlord himself. So I would send you to the private hostel on campus. One of the hostel, I think we have a Goose hostel, and we have Sanargo hostel. So I send him to Sanargo hostel and hand her over, because it was a lady. I hand her over to one of the ladies at Sanargo hostel to take care of the mother, and then the guy, I sent him to my home to sleep with me. And the following morning around 5 o'clock, I then came and went to the hostel, and I opened the hostel. They see, and then the woman make payments to the landlord, and then before then he left. So one of the perception they have about Northerners, they think we are not good, and let's say when it comes to money issues, when we take it, we'll run away. So I think that's idea. I cleared their minds on that. And most students to make payment to me, and then later they would have admission to different campus, so they wouldn't like to come to the campus again. They will call me, I'll send their money back to them. So I think this is what I can say.
What I have to add on that is that, always when you hear about the North in the news, it's about something that's negative.
Yeah.
Why? And I think tackling this issue, we have to check our own behavior.
Yeah.
We have to check some of the things that we do. And we as people, the Gombers say that when you are sick and you don't know that you are sick, your disease becomes incurable. So it will be incurable. So we as Northerners haven't realized where we are. And most of the issues they pose to us are true. To be realistic, they are true. So we have to check our own behavior and ensure that we raise our lives to the standard that we are. The Bilchini that we are, we have to live it. It shouldn't always be by words. It should be seen in our life. Bilchin doesn't steal we should be seen away from stealing. Bilchin doesn't lie, we should be seen away from lying. And those issues are going to cast back to the self that we are truly sons of Nadewa. And this cannot be achieved in a day. It starts by me correcting my ethics and you checking your ethics. And together we will be able to change the narrative.
Yeah, I think I don't disagree with you, but it's sometimes I think that also it has to do with the perception that is painted out there. For a typical example is when they came and then how he treated them.
Yes.
So it's not as though it is true that we have some of those characters. I'm not saying everywhere you find those people there, but you see, in a society where people always stereotypes a particular group of people, there will be those challenges, right? Because at the end of the day, almost all the time, just as you said, there's never been, or there's no like time where we see good news coming. It doesn't mean there are no good things happening. So it means that it is a bigger challenge. And people who are also in, the media work also have a lot of work to do.
Sure.
Rather than just to feed into the stereotype and also go with what other people are saying on the news and all of that.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad. Really sad. Like listening to you. Almost tears is about to come out of my face. I remember I'm from main constituency and I've been active there. If you remember, about a month ago, an issue happened about witchcraft. It happened in my constituency and I've been active there. Almost there will be nothing that will happen there and I will not be informed. But I got the news on TV3 page. TV3 page. And then I called him and said, it just happened now.
Wow.
So how did it get there? Why us? So are they telling us that down south or east things negative doesn't happen? Why is it only that when we are going to see something about the north, it's about negativity? I think this isn't fair to us. And that was the point I was making. When people are stereotyping against us, we should know our stand as people. And united, let's not give them the opportunity. I feel very sad by this development. Seriously.
I even want to add something to it. When that woman approached me and then make that comment, I told her that irrespective of you thinking that North is like this, just know that there are some people who are not like that. Because I also mentioned to her that, yes, since you came and you see my behavior, you get to know that, not all Northerners are in the perception of what I was thinking. I went to a program in 2020 at Legon. We arrived there at dawn, I think around 3 or so. And there was a taxi driver. He came and then asked us where we are going to. Because it was my first time for being in Accra, I think I didn't know the location very well. So he took me to the hotel. Knowing that the hotel just have some, let's say, a short way he could send me. But he sent me around and then just to maybe get a huge amount from me. So when he sent me to the hotel and we approached there, and then it was an Action Aid program at this in Legon. So when we approached, and then the next morning, the officers for the program, they came and met us, and I told them, we arrived late, and then the one taxi driver took us to the station and took us this so amount. They said, wow, because you are a stranger here, you would have just booked they have some Uber. You can just book Uber. For Uber their prices are low. So she asked of where we depart, and I mentioned to her, and she said, then that place, there's just small distance. And I said, wow. But the man took, I can't quite remember that amount, but somewhere 40 cities to 80 cities.
Wow. Hey.
Wow.
So this was what I mentioned to the woman. And I said, so is the person not from Accra, or is he not from South, and you are having perception that Northerners are this or not are that? Means there are some bad people in the South. So So you are protecting yourself, and the thing we are saying,
Everywhere.
this place, because we are not maybe protecting ourselves. That's why you are having this perception about love. So
Well, I think that will be a conversation for another day. Let me ask you my final question.
all right.
What is so special about UDS? If somebody somewhere is listening,
Yeah.
and would want to, would want a good school,
Yeah.
tertiary school for their wards, why should they choose UDS?
Yeah.
You
University
can
for,
answer then after that. You can
Yes.
also
Okay.
answer.
University for Development Studies is, let's say, a one of the visions is poor academic excellence, I would say. We have a special program which is supposed to be carried out by level 100 and 200. They send them to communities, which is the third trimester field practical program, to which they gain experience living with rural communities in order to have fair knowledge on what they are supposed to learn with them and also live with them. So with this program, every student in level 100 and 200 at their third trimester is compulsory for them to go to various villages they have been posted to.
Okay.
So with them, they will learn, they will know that, living with these people, this is what we are supposed to do. And after their graduation, they'll be able to work wherever they found themselves. So this is one of the best course we are offering in the university, to which most students who go to Legon, they go to tech, they don't have experience on working in the villages. So when they post them there, they find it difficult to live with those communities.
Okay.
I would say in my next life, if I'm asked to choose a university I'll attend again, I'll choose UDS.
Oh, really?
Yes. UDS though quite challenging, but UDS is the kind of school that offers you the flexibility. Before you can be a successful student of University of Development Studies, you have to learn how to multitask, do different things at the same time.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of challenges they throw to us. And this helped us, most especially we can see that the leaders in the communities, in our various societies, are from the graduates of University for Development Studies.
Yeah.
And the program that he mentioned about the third trimester field practical program is a program that has been designed to impact into students the issue of development, for us to take it up as our own. So each student that you see who has graduated from UDS or is still a student of UDS in his community is a development agent. We believe that development is multifaceted, and we shouldn't wait on our MPs, we shouldn't wait on our DCs to come out with development. We on our own can do something.
Yeah.
And that is where we learn about community profiling, assessment of needs, and prioritizing our needs of the communities. This is something that a student who attend Legon, a student who attend KNUSC cannot do.
Yeah.
And it is only accessible and available in the University for Development Studies. And this is what you need to be a proper leader. This is what you need to be a proper community socialist. And this is what you need to be an activist. And only University for Development Studies offers you that opportunity. So, and this TTF People program, you get to live with people that you've never met. And like me, I was sent to Subinkru, a village, typical village in the Bono East region. Bono East region, and I got to meet even the member of parliament for my constituency. I met him, I met the DC, and we discussed, and we were able to come up with a comprehensive profile of our community.
There,
Yes.
Okay.
And almost every day when I come out, they were shouting, ba, 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 ba. And the most funny thing is, I couldn't understand Twi, and the children too couldn't understand English, not Dagbani. And I have to teach them.
Wow.
So this was so like I got to become a family with them. Even as now, they call me.
Oh, wow.
Some few months ago, I went there, not for in academic purpose, but I just have an interaction with them.
Visit them.
And every day when I was there, you see gifts, food stuff, any variety of things coming.
Yeah.
And this is only can be accessible through the University for Development Studies. And as now, any a university for different studies student who has passed through this program will be able to live with any caliber of person on earth, everywhere he's posted to.
Okay.
And the most advantage thing is that wherever any student will not accept, any graduate of any school will not accept posting to, when you go there, you will see University for Different Students there.
Wow. Beautiful.
Okay, so let's end the.
So I want to actually advertise the school.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to tell every individual, especially those in the senior high school at their final year school, they can always approach to the university. On the website, just type UDS Vibe, University for Development Study. You'll be able to see some people in that platform to which you can approach. They will guide you on how to apply for the university. And the university is really one of the best university in the country. So they should apply and then come and live with us. They will get to know that yes, University for Development Studies is one of the best.
There are testimonies to that.
Sure.
There are testimonies to that.
Okay.
I salute my member of parliament, Honorable Ayaba. He's a developer.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are testimonies.
All right. Okay. So let's get unless you have a question.
I'm fine.
Let's get your final words. What do you have to tell the students of University for Development students as campaign manager for?
Let me face the camera.
So this is your camera.
Sure. So once again, I am Baba Bio, political thinker. I'm urging you, fellow developers, on the 18th of July. That'll be next week. I'm urging all of you to come out in your numbers. Let's make the change that we have always cried for. Let's vote for competence. Let's choose an accessible leader. Let's choose a person that will respect each and every single view of us. Let's choose someone who will be ready to wipe our tears in case there is any. Let's choose someone who will hear our voice in case we cry in need of help. And looking for such a person, let's search no further. The most accessible, the most kind-hearted and sound-minded candidate among them is Abdul-Hafiz Rufai, a person that is coming to open a new chapter for UDS, a chapter that we will all enjoy to be part of. Let's come out in our numbers and choose Abdul-Hafiz Rufai as our next SRC president. A decision that we will make and will never regret. A decision that will set pace for coming generations. A decision that will be worth emulating. I'll expect you. He's number one on the ballot paper. God has already placed him the priority. He has placed him high among all of them. And let's maintain the will of God. Thank you very much.
Okay. Abdul-Hafiz, do you have anything to add?
Yes, I am most grateful for this opportunity. And sorry if I don't mention the name of Prince Hamdan.
Yeah, that's
yes,
it.
and you can search on him on Facebook and see the kind of impact he makes to the North. We are most grateful for that.
Thank you.
And thank you for this opportunity as well.
Thank you very much.
And I must thank all students of the University for Development Studies and thank all the staff from the administration to the last person. I thank everyone. And I am saying that this is your son, Abdul-Hafiz Rufai. And I was trying to bring my running mate as well.
Yes.
She's Lodina Andrabati
Yes.
from Central Region.
Wow.
So I say hi to all Central Region
people, right? Okay.
They really give me someone who can also stand for students. So I must say that all students should rally behind no candidate but Abdul-Hafiz Rufai and Lodina Andrabati.
Okay.
We are the vice for them and we are going to represent them. Imizano Borsonye Abdul-Hafiz Rufai, Ikayi and Jesopolo, Shei Sonte. And we can't do this alone. We can't do this alone because when we are given the mandate, we are going to be working with you. We are going to represent you, and all what you need is what we are supposed to do. So for now, we are seeking for your support. Coming next week, Tuesday, 18th of this month, every student should come and endorse Abdul-Hafiz Rufai. I believe that during the vetting process, there were some challenges to which they always try to bring me down. Because I was, even the vetting results, I was the last person, which I just believe that, it was the will of them because I believe I performed more than that. And as at now, in the balloting, I went and picked number 1, to which I believe that God himself says that this is the person, the right person to lead the student body. So he has given us the number one. That was the sign of victory, I believe. So please, students, this is just an endorsement. Just come and endorse us and see a proactive leadership in the next administration. Thank you so much once again.
Beautiful.
Number one on the ballot. Thank you.
But I didn't hear you guys on security with regards to your policies, because security is a big issue.
Yeah,
I heard a couple of stuff that I wasn't happy
I think one of
about.
them mentioned security.
Yes, I mentioned it.
Then
Yes,
probably
I
you'd have
mentioned
to elaborate.
Yes,
because
yes, I would didn't throw more light on it.
Right.
Okay, so
I
you
heard
can-
something
yes.
that I wasn't very happy about.
With
Especially
regards,
with our female
yes,
students.
with regards to security, I will say that we would work tirelessly with the security on campus and police at Lamashao police station to make sure we have a patrol at night so that they can be monitoring the happenings in the private hostels and the campus as well, and also get more what's the name? Street light and security cameras at the vantage point, so that if there is theft cases,
And-
we can be able to.
Yeah, I started it.
Yes.
Not now. I've seen him, even when he was not a candidate, sharing security tips to students.
Yeah.
What we should do to protect ourselves. And no matter the system that I put in place, personal protection is the utmost.
Yeah.
And the UDS security hasn't been reluctant. They have been doing their
Marvelous
best. But there's need for improvement. And that has to do with the student properties, the students themselves. We've recorded so many theft cases on campus, and you ask yourself, how does this occur? And mostly there are students among us who involved in those issues. And this has to be to start from not only putting the system that will arrest them, but changing the mindset of students. When we change the mindset of students that you don't have to steal in order to acquire something, tell them about the negative impact of stealing and other things. These are what we are going to do to change the mindset of students, and also ensure that we collaborate with the school or the assistance system to improve it,
Okay.
to ensure utmost security on campus.
Why political thinker? You want to become a
An analyst in politics.
what's your why
How did you come about the name?
A political thinker. I think if you search on any social media handles, you've seen what I've been doing
Right.
and my activities.
Okay.
I'm already into the game,
Okay.
and it is just a quest to serve to the utmost best to humanity.
Right.
And how I come by the name. The name actually came during my junior high school one.
Okay.
And what occasion the name was, where always when we are in class, when any question is asked about politics,
You'll be the first to answer.
if there's no one who knows it in the class,
You would know.
when Bababi will come, he will answer it.
Okay.
So a time came, we were doing current affairs. Who is the Speaker of Parliament? I answered. Who is the Minister of this? I answered. Who is the Minister of this? I answered. What is this? On government issues, I was answered, say, hey, you are always thinking politics. So then people started calling me political thinker.
Okay.
So I'm always
But
thinking about politics.
do you see yourself in the political fronts in Ghana?
Oh, you're already into it.
I've been in, I contested.
Mainstream, I mean.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
I contested for deputy youth organizer back at my constituency.
Okay. Of which party?
And,
You don't want to mention. That's fine. That's fine.
the government. I'm already a public figure,
Okay,
so I don't hide my political affiliation.
Okay. All right.
And as a young person, I believe we should affiliate with a political party that supports the growth of the youth, a political party that has vision, a political party that is coming to build, not to destroy, a political.
Which political party?
This guy, don't say,
That's
don't
the
do
National
that.
Democratic Congress.
Don't do that. To throw away my supporters in the MPP. I beg.
Your man is begging.
Because they
All
will
right,
take-
that's fine. That's fine. I mean,
Yes,
it's
so-
been an amazing conversation.
So Hafiz, And then, Baba B, all I would want to say is, when you win, because I pray you do win. When you win, be true to yourself and good to the people you are vying to serve.
Thank you.
Because that's the only way we can move forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are most grateful.
I pray you. I mean, the best candidate wins. And as I said earlier on, we invited all candidates. He was the only. Their team were the only people who showed up. So it's not as though we are handpicking one person and interviewing. We called all of them and then they showed up. And I must thank you so much for dedicating your time to come for this conversation. And I hope it has some impact in what you want to offer and the position you want.
Definitely.
And I pray that, God guide all of us
Amen.
to be able to achieve whatever we desire.
Amen.
And thanks so much for watching the podcast. Make sure you subscribe and also like, share, and let's get it. We are.
Yeah,
Number
peace.
one. Number one.